her? And could you not, you just wanted to say, hey, let me just come clean with my wife?
I don't think that actually happened.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Click on that bell button for the boom notifications, baby. And for those of you who are returnees, baby, you ain't got the minerals. You ain't got the minerals. Alright, let's get into it. Talking to you guys about Married at First Sight. We're going to be talking to you guys about Meka and Michael. I found this quite interesting. Because obviously, you know, I've been saying this for the past few months, obviously. Finally, I'm right, guys. Did I not say that Meka needs to chill on her vibe, her tone? Don't worry, I'm just doing her first so we can come on to Michael after. I said it, didn't I? I said her tone. When you watch it, her tone is hard. Regardless of whatever she was right or wrong, her tone was hard. Like, that's what I was saying, like, that harshness of tone, that needed to change, you understand? And she's seen that, and she's going to change it. We appreciate that, do you understand? But I wanted to put that point in there, because a lot of people are complaining, saying I'm on her case. No, I'm saying rooms of improvement, you understand? That's what I was saying, you know what I mean? Because the way that we deliver something, no matter if, no, I have the saying, you could be right, but the way that you deliver it, the way you make it land, makes you wrong, you understand?
Juice about himself.
Do I think I was too hard on Michael at times? Absolutely. I look back at some clips and I'm not proud of how I acted, and I think I could have reacted in a much more calm way.
Just because of the way you did it. If I tell you to be quiet or tell you to shut up, I may be annoyed, but the way it's going to land now causes a beef between us two. So who was really right? So, anyway, but we appreciate that because she's not in the wrong, okay? Michael is, and we're going to address some things. So, cool. First thing I noticed was obviously when they were coming out, there was a lot of distance between them two, a big distance. I mean, it looked like she couldn't wait to get ahead of him and get out of there. So when they sit down, I think what's interesting is when they watch their best bits and it pans back out to them to give them to discuss it. Michael's in his usual position. He starts and he's doing a lot of hand touching. So he's doing up his cuffs at a time when it pans back in, and he's almost like he's disassociating from the situation. He doesn't give eye contact to the situation. So it's almost as if his eyes are elsewhere and his head is elsewhere. Right? That's where he looks. And then obviously when he does the cuffs and everything, it's almost like when he's getting the cuffs and doing all of this, it's almost as if the guy's getting ready for a role. You know when you get ready for the camera, right? You're getting ready to, all right guys, we're going to be in 3, 2, 1, let's go. That's how it looked. With him doing himself up, it's like he's preparing himself to present himself in a certain way. And I think that makes a lot of sense because in the past few weeks, what he's presented to us, or what he's presented to Meka, I should say, compared and off the scenes compared to on the scenes is different. I remember this when she articulated this in the very first situation in Panama, where she said, obviously, he's giving you guys one thing, but when he's off camera, this is not how he talks. And I started to notice that in the fact that the way he started dressing himself and touching himself when the camera was panning back, he was preparing to talk, preparing to present a certain presentation. Because when you look at Michael on the off, on the surface level of it, he seems to have a very, very calm, very articulate, very together person. Underneath the surface is a broken individual who's not got over certain things that have happened to him in the past, and it bubbles and seeps up, right? But he wants to show you that he's got it all together on the outward. You understand? So, you know, you're sitting up, you're just giving him great eye contact, and you know, that's how I like to do it. A bit like Zach, same kind of way. It's a front, right? It's a front. And they have not sorted some of the emotional needs that he has, right? One of which he needs to therapize it immediately, which is dealing with the past trauma of being in an orphanage and having to fend for yourself, and what that caused him to do now in the future. Because he's doing these, as he said himself, he's explaining it. That's fine, but we need to get you the help that you need, because what's going to happen is it's going to repeat itself if we don't deal with it. You understand? And then obviously we see later on Michael does that hand thing again with a triangle. You know, he narrows his eyes and begins to scrutinize, right? Because what's coming at him is a critique. I've noticed this, when he doesn't like, when the critique is coming, suddenly the triangle comes out, face, And the question was about his yoga instruction. Now, here's the thing. He's been proven already that he's lied about yoga. He's not a yoga teacher. Yeah, he's not a yoga teacher. and all of a sudden he's trying to back it. And even the interviewer says, "Listen,
Mike, I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? You do not look like an yoga instructor when I saw you doing yoga. I don't know who you instructing.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You don't look like a yoga teacher. You understand? Even when you're doing it, you don't look like a yoga teacher." And then he has to then obviously address the situation by saying, "Look, oh no," Michael says obviously, "Oh, no, I'm a yoga teacher at my school now." Which one? Because we don't already know that you've already gone through a few jobs since you've been doing this thing. We don't know if it's a school, whether it's a community hall. Like, we don't know anything at the moment because, bro, you're unreliable. And I keep telling you, the lie in the unreliable. That's what I'm saying. They lie so they're unreliable. You can't lie on them. You understand? Began yawning and playing with the band in his hand. He started playing with the armrest. Like, he was just showing signs of someone who's not very comfortable. There's a lot of hand movement through that episode. And I was confused by it. And I was like, but then I realized, okay, this guy's under duress because there's nowhere to hide now. You understand? The interviewer's going to ask you questions about everything. And then obviously, when he's asked about her to Meka, he actually nonchalantly says, "I don't think that actually happened." And then went on to say that that was not his experience in the marriage. Excuse me? Who are you talking to, bruv?
She was saying it was hurting her.
I understand what she said. That's not my experience in the marriage.
You didn't see the clip just now?
I've said that you've hurt me with the behavior you've showed. Now, you know that lying is wrong. Yeah? You know that omitting information is wrong. You know those kind of things are going to hurt people. You understand? You know this. Don't pretend. And now you want to say, listen, that was not my experience in the marriage. What kind of politician answer is that? That just shows me again that you're not ready for this marriage. And that you're still willing to play games. You're still playing people's hearts. You're still kind of unrepentant of your behavior. And for me, this is scary. And this, again, that's why I said about the sister enabling this behavior, that this wasn't omitting information. This is hardcore lying to the point that now you can't even be remorseful for your behavior towards her and hurting her. You know, that's not your experience. What do you mean that's not your experience? She's been hurt by it. And a few seconds before he said that, she said, "I've been hurt by this." Bro, so you can't even pretend as if you didn't know that she's been hurt. You know what I'm saying? That lack of accountability is scary, man. Lack of accountability is scary, but that started from when he was young. The family gave him that room to be unreliable and to be unaccountable.
Cause trouble in your marriage.
I understand all the inconsistencies, and again, in each of those situations, easily explained.
And then obviously, you know, he says obviously all these things can be rationally explained. Let me tell you something. In a self-defense mechanism, there's a thing called rationalization. Rationalization, yeah? It's a self-defense mechanism. You use it to rationalize unrationable situations. Like, for instance, you sleep with your sister's wife. Your brother comes in, or your brother comes in and caught you red-handed. And you say to him, there's a reasonable explanation here. What had happened was, actually, I was in the bed. And when I was in the bed, I noticed that, you know, your wife was a little bit cold. The heat was off, it had been broken, and obviously the covers weren't thick enough. So what actually happened, I had to get in the bed. And then I had to also cuddle up next to her. I actually didn't have sex with her, but, you know, like, whoa. I just saw you on top of her. Bro, what are you talking about? What's going on? How are you trying to rationalize this? It's unrationable. You understand? You can't ignore it. It's a self-defense mechanism to try and rationalize it. You know, to use, to try to make an actual definition or explanation for the thing. It's simply put, you lied. And you hurt someone in the process. Admit it. Simple. And obviously, yeah, we then got obviously the end scene where, again, after the interviewer asked him about Brandon and he walked off and he came back, again, he put himself in that place of disassociation. He just wasn't paying attention to anybody by eye. He was giving nobody eye look. He wasn't looking even at the camera. But my man's eyes were elsewhere.
So understand both of y'all point of view, and I get why both of y'all decided to walk away. So if
he's almost as if like doesn't want no trouble, or it's like you know, he's disassociated. He's removing. He's detaching himself from the reality. Okay, which can easily kind of push you into a mental health situation as well. But he's detached from the situation, detached from the people around him at that moment, and he's just focused on whatever he's focused on. And so yeah, I mean, with Michael, I really believe that obviously this guy, he's the right guy, but without the therapy, as I said, black men need therapy. Without it, he's gonna cause so much damage. Like, she's gonna be so hurt if she continues this. So yeah, guys, That was our review of Meka and Michael. Nothing too long. Quick one, dash and dash. I appreciate you. Make sure you stay locked, stay loaded. And yeah, we'll catch up with you sometime. I appreciate you guys. Too hot to handle, baby.